What's up, Viminal YouTube? I'm here in Athens, Greece, with my guitar teacher, Theodore Ziras. So how you doing?
Hello, John. Finally, nice to meet you in person.
Absolutely. So I've been taking online guitar lessons via Skype with Theodore for like
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
136 weeks and lessons.
Yeah.
Which is actually almost a 4-year degree course. 8 semesters, let's say. So it's a lot of work, and you covered a lot of work, and you did a great job. And I'm very proud for you. If you compare your playing when we started and now, I think you can see the difference. And not only technically, musically wise, theory and everything. I don't know how you feel about that, or if you agree or disagree, but this is, what can I say about your improvement?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like I've improved a lot, and really had stalled quite a bit leading up to when we started lessons, and I'll get into that later actually, because I wanted to ask you about some things related to that. But it's funny you bring up, it's like a 4-year degree, doing the private lessons. So,
almost.
Yeah. So I just finished school, so I'm doing some traveling and found myself in Athens and had to meet Theodore face to face for the first time. So we can get into a little. I'll get into more about how we started taking lessons. But for those of the audience who don't know you, do you want to talk a little bit about what you've done? Because you do a variety of things between teaching and creative stuff.
I'm from Greece, Athens, Greece. I'm a professional guitar tutor for 20 years almost, and I have released 5 solo albums.
They're good.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And a lot of YouTube videos, more than 300 tutorials and musical stuff.
Yeah.
This is my life story so far.
Nice. Yeah, one of the fastest shredders on YouTube for sure, and that's how I found you.
To be honest, I don't take it seriously, this fastest thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of faster guys than me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Guitar World wrote that in 2008. It was Speed Kings on the cover with Ingve, the king, and said the 50 fastest guitarists all over the world. And to be honest, I found it online and I just checked and see who are those guys. And I saw my name and I get shocked. And I stopped the computer, I turned it off and turned it on to see if it was a joke. Believe me. Yes. But it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can tell in your teaching.
Yes.
You're not just all about shredding.
Yes,
you really cover a variety of things.
Shredding is 20% actually. The rest is real music.
Yeah.
How to learn how to understand how the chords function over any scale. For me, the basic thing is to know you have a chord, any chord. What scales can you play? How you can use them? How you can make music out of a chord or out of a scale? And to have the to do actually in purpose to use any scale the way you like. For example, you have just a 3-voice minor chord. What you can do? You can play 10 scales, and to know exactly which of them is the best for this special situation. Because any scale, any mode, it sounds different, and you know each scale how it sounds over each chord, over each.
So it seems like there's a lot of people who are really obsessed with playing faster.
Yes, it is.
Do you think that there are too many guitarists who are just obsessed with speed and not
Yes,
with...
there are. And to be honest, I have been in this path. I can say from 1994 to 1998, it was for me only about speed. I didn't play any songs, nothing, only speed. And to be honest, I don't feel bad about that. It helped me. But after that, I get over it and I continue to study real music and not only, music is a form of art, but also it's something like the athletics, because you need to be in shape, your hands, and actually for me the perfect balance between theory, so mind, and good technique, so to be in shape is the best thing.
Got it.
If you lack in one of the two, it's a problem. Imagine someone that he has great technique, but knows nothing about theory and he just play an Aeolian scale up and down. And on the other hand, someone that knows all the theory, everything, and he cannot play what is here. So it's both situations are problematic. So you must keep a balance.
Right.
And it's not that easy. You need someone to show you the way, the fastest way to keep the balance between those two.
Okay, so this brings up something interesting. Well, first of all, how did you get started playing? What was your introduction to the guitar?
Yes, it was 1990. My birthday present, 15 years old, was a classical guitar. And I started playing, chords and stuff. And then 1 year later, I get my first electric guitar, a Fender Stratocaster, Japan model. Japan models are not anymore in the market.
Right.
Many years ago. And then, I started listening to Viminal and shredders and stuff, and the rest, it's history.
Right.
But I was obsessed for technique from the very first day. Even I wouldn't know how to hold the pick. I wanted to play fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so in your the early years of your playing,
Yes.
especially now that you're a teacher and you have this perspective, what are some things that you think you did really right, and some things you did wrong that you wish you didn't do in terms of learning the guitar?
Yes. My main mistake is that I thought that I can learn anything on my own, and it's not good. You need someone to show you the safest and the fastest way to achieve your goals. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a technique or theory or to play a song or something. I thought that I could do everything on my own. And to be honest, after 8 years of starting playing in 1998, I decided, and I was semi-professional, I decided to study in a university. So it was too late. I would do that 3-4 years before. Could be even better. But it's never too late for something.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is actually how I ended up working with you in a way, is that I started playing when I was 10, also got a guitar as a gift, didn't know anything about music, didn't even listen to music. Took lessons for 6 years or so, maybe,
Yes.
5 or 6 years, and then sort of finished the syllabus that my teacher at the time had. And then I just said, there's so much information on YouTube and the internet and books that I thought I could
You talk about which year?
man, I was maybe 16.
So it was 2000?
Maybe 2008, 2009.
I asked that because YouTube started getting popular after 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was YouTube, websites, Guitar World, and different instruction books.
Yes.
And you think that with all the information available, you can just go do it on your own. But in fact, there's too much information, and it's overwhelming, and you become very sort of disorganized and undisciplined.
Yes, this is the main problem.
Yeah.
Because you have too much information, and you know how to put it in the right order. And this is really important, the right order. You can do the same things in different order and have different results.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought I'd be able to just write my own lessons and have sort of this regular routine of switching up what I was working on, and it just didn't happen because I'd end up switching things every day. I'd work on an exercise that I found somewhere,
Yes.
and then the next day feel like, I need to work on this other thing, I need to work on this other technique, and then switch it up. And because I was switching so quickly, I never made any progress.
Yes.
And it was also it just becomes super mentally taxing.
It's very often
Because-
this situation.
Yeah.
I have heard it many times.
Yeah, because you're thinking so much about all the stuff that you can do, and it's just
Yes.
overwhelming, and you end up not even wanting to play because
Yes.
it's stressful.
It is.
So I actually wanted to ask you why you think it's important to have a teacher, but you kind of already answered that.
To sum it up,
Yeah.
a teacher, a professional, experienced teacher, knows your problem before you even notice it.
Yeah.
And he can help you and give you the right answer at the right time. This is mainly the job of a professional, experienced guitar instructor.
Yeah. I mean, that's to me the reason it's such a good investment in my playing, and why it's been such a good investment in my playing to have a teacher is it's taken all the thought out of it for me, both in terms of choosing what I'm playing,
Of course.
when I'm practicing, but also assessing all the issues so that I can improve.
Of course.
So to give some of my viewers some actual advice, I think a lot of people that I've talked to say they want a teacher but they can't afford one, and I know in my case I had a really hard time finding one locally, which is why I ended up finding one online.
And to be honest, in the first lesson we did, I asked you, you are you live in LA and you
Yeah.
know LA
Los
for me is the
Angeles.
capital of guitar shredding and stuff.
Yeah.
And you choose someone from Athens, Greece.
Yeah.
For me it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you asked me, you said that blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I accept that.
I just couldn't find one that was a convenient drive who was a good teacher and specialized in metal and specifically lead playing. Because what I was really lacking at the time was in my soloing, my shred, and my speed. And I mean, one thing I suggest, I guess, is that whatever you feel like you need to work on, go find someone who teaches that. You know, don't expect a classical or a blues
This is
teacher
obvious.
to teach
This
you
is
shred.
a very important mistake that the students do. And not only in terms of electric guitar, of style and technique. You must find the right guy for the right job.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that everyone can teach anything.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to be specialized in something.
Yeah.
So if you know what you want, you must then it will be easier for you to find the right guy. If you don't know what you want, it will be rather difficult or impossible.
Yeah. Well, I feel like early on in my playing, it was good that I had a teacher who, and you do this as well to some extent, but a teacher who showed me a variety of things because, you know, when you're just getting started, it's kind of helpful to get a base, get sort of a broad foundation of different genres of music in the guitar. So let's say somebody's shopping around for a guitar teacher, like I was, and I actually tried out some other teachers who just weren't as good. You know, they didn't have materials prepared. They would kind of we'd like either meet in person or meet online, you know, Skype, and they'd say things like, "So what do you want to work on?" And we would just kind of look at each other.
Yes.
And I'd be like, "I don't know, you're the
To
teacher.
be honest,
I'm paying you."
Yes, I understand what you said. The thing that you say, it took me 8 years to organize my syllabus. 8 years of everyday work, you know, 2-3 hours every day. Because this is the hardest part. You have all this knowledge and all this material. You have to put it in the right order and give it to the right order to the student in order to be able to understand everything. If you give the wrong order, it will be a mess for both.
Okay.
Okay, so it took me 8 years in order to have, because you don't know, it will be easy to make something on the paper, but then when you start teaching that, you can understand that it doesn't always work well with everyone. So you must work on that and get experience. So this is exactly what you are telling.
So if somebody is watching this and they're shopping around for a teacher, what are some things that they can do or ask their teacher or ask the prospective teacher
For me,
to make sure that they're the right choice?
To ask, what is your syllabus? What can you teach me? The more well organized it is, the better for the lesson. The well organization to be something in a logical order, and not, you know, random things all over the place. This is, for me, this is the most important.
Okay. So, from there, once you found a teacher, and I mean, assuming the teacher should likely help with this, but I don't know, let's say somebody's watching this and they don't have a teacher, they can't afford one, they're not going to get one, whatever the case may be. What are some things that you see, some consistent mistakes and common mistakes in the way young guitarists and new guitarists are approaching their practice that needs to be improved?
Yes, number one, they need everything now.
Okay. They think they need everything.
Yes,
now.
they think that it's impossible.
Okay.
Let's say the most simple thing, alternate picking. Personally, it took me to get to the speed I am now 14 years. 14 years.
And what's your
For 1994, now it's 300 BPM 16th notes, or 200 BPM sextuplets. It took me 14 years, from 1998 to 2008. People think that they can do that in 1-2 years. It's fucking impossible. Sorry for the word. It's impossible.
No, I curse on my
Okay, it's impossible.
Who gives a fuck?
It took me 14 years. Okay, you are maybe cleverer than me. You can do it in 8, 9, not less. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible for your...
Yeah.
Okay. And be, precise and clean and... So they think that because what is YouTube is doing wrong, because you see all those fast players, then you get used to that and you think that you can do it.
Right.
Because you can see it and you can understand it, it doesn't mean that you can do it right away.
Right.
This is the problem. This is a main problem. So you need to be patient.
Yeah.
It will take a lot of time, a lot of practice. I'm talking about 14 years of at least 2 hours every day alternate picking practice. Specifically about this technique.
Right.
And not generally playing and
Yeah.
and jamming. I never play and jamming and every day I'm practicing. I have a specific schedule, a specific task to do. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah.
I prefer to watch TV instead of
Yeah,
see a match, a basketball or NBA match instead of playing.
Right. So, what other issues do you see?
First is this thing. Second is the new students cannot understand the importance of theory.
Okay.
They think that it doesn't matter. It's really important to know how any mode and any scale sounds, how it functions with each chord, and how you can use it to your own music. Let me give you a simple example. My first 2 records was pure neoclassical. So it was Aeolian, harmonic minor, Phrygian dominant, and Phrygian. 4 scales, nothing more. Then on my third CD release, I want to do something different. And it was a very easy procedure. I just starting using more scales, Lydian, Muxolydian, and also do some odd times signatures. So just by switching to new scales, it was easier for me to make new music, different music. If you only knew 3 scales, let's say that you are in the Malmsteen fan. So in the Malmsteen generally means pentatonic, Aeolian, harmonic minor, Phrygian dominant. With only 4 scales, it's impossible to make a complete release with different things. All your songs will be the same, boring at the end of the day. So you have to work on that and understand how important it is, not only to learn the shapes of any scale, but how you can use them in real life and understand why the Dorian sounds different from Aeolian by just moving the 6th from flat 6 to 6 and understand it and hear it and use it.
Right. So it's not just learning theory just for theory's sake.
No, it's not, and also it's not to learn the scale just for, and it's okay, I know Dorian, but now how you can use it.
Right.
It's really important.
Right.
Those 2 things mainly.
Okay.
And another thing is
the
young guitarists spend too much time on social media. Too much time, believe me. When I was a teenager, it was no Facebook, no Twitter, no everything. No computers actually, no internet. Okay, so I had more time to practice. Now people spend more time in Facebook and YouTube than playing.
So I hear this all the time from guitar players that I'm talking to. This whole I don't have time to practice, and I just think that has to be bullshit. Because if you have time, first of all, I see those people posting on Facebook all fucking day.
Of course.
If they have time to talk to me about how little time they have to practice, they have time.
Yes.
Well, they have time to practice. So just to sort of set the record straight, how much time do people need?
For me,
what's sort of a
2 to 3 hours every day.
Okay.
But consistent, hard, disciplined practice. 2 to 3 hours is enough every day, and with schedule, not just what I do today. You have to every day, every week or every month have a strategic plan of what you want to improve, what are your weaknesses, your strengths, and work on that.
Okay, so one of the things that really changed my guitar playing was actually your suggestion about splitting my practice time up to morning and night. Can you talk about your practice?
Let's say that you have 3 hours to spend every day.
Okay.
So do it.
You have 3 hours, by the way.
Yes, 1.5 in the morning and 1.5 at night. And play the same things in the morning and at night. It's better to do 1.5 and 1.5 instead of do 3 hours together.
All at once.
Believe me, it's much better. If you have 6 hours to spend, do 2 and 2. 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, 2 at night. And I was doing that. And I was always keeping records, especially technique-wise. I have records like, the ladies that are on diet, and I say, morning, 100 pounds, evening, 99. Exactly the same. It's so simple, but, and I was saying, the exercise established number 1, 125. The other day, 126. So, great. I speed it up by 1 BPM.
Right.
But believe me, 1 BPM took me 1 week. For one fucking BPM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, when you get up to that crazy high speed,
Yes.
I mean, it actually is the same with people who exercise. People
It's
who kind of
exactly the same.
Once you get to those really high levels,
There's no difference.
yeah, the
Only the subject is changing. The procedure is the same. Believe
Yeah.
me.
So it seems like these are obviously very related. You know, having a teacher who can then tell you what to practice.
Yes.
And then, therefore, if you're going to practice and you don't want to waste time and you want to have a schedule, as you say, it's obviously good to have a teacher or somebody who's going to tell you what to be doing.
If you can do it on your own, no problem.
Yeah.
But mainly a teacher is someone that knows exactly the best exercise for the specific purpose.
Mhm.
Mainly, I think.
Right. So as I was saying earlier, I had a teacher for a long time, sort of finished up with that one teacher and thought I could do it on my own. So not only was it overwhelming because there's so much information, but I basically made no progress for like 4 years. I mean, either because I was not focused enough on practice. I mean, I would play 4 hours a day, but just not get any better. I just thought I was destined to be sort of at this like moderately decent level, like not great, but not terrible.
Yes.
And then finally said, you know, fuck, I gotta invest in a teacher because whatever I'm doing on my own is not good enough. So maybe having someone help me would be the way to go, and it really did. And I think the reasons are, as you said, you know, having someone lay out the right things for you to practice and work on. But the other thing actually is having a deadline. Because if you have a lesson every Wednesday...
It's really important,
yeah.
deadlines, and specific, you know, time, even, to give you an example,
Yeah.
I have a metronome called fine metronome.
Okay.
This
Can you spell that?
F-I-N-E, fine.
Fine, yeah.
Fine metronome, you can find it online everywhere.
Fine metronome.
Fine, yes. This metronome has something really important. When you hit play,
Mm-hmm.
it gives the BPM, tack, 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 but also show you how many seconds this lasts. So let's say I will play this exercise in 120 and 20 BPM for 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important not only to play fast, but to play for a specific amount of time. You know, to have
Endurance.
endurance and precision and stuff.
Mhm.
So, for example, this is really important.
Right. You've given me a lot of interesting advice about routines and, you know, as you said, deadlines. And I know.
Sorry
Oh, yeah.
to stop you. And
Please do.
this makes my life easier because I can compare to the yesterday, the other day before,
Right.
and I can see how I'm improving. Not only to play the exercise in a specific tempo, but how much time I'm gonna do it, etc., etc. You can see guys that are extremely fast, but only for 2 seconds. So you need deadlines to say, I will do this exercise in this tempo for 23 seconds. Then the other day, 1:30 for 24 seconds and stuff. It sounds stupid, but it's not. It's really important. You know, to have specific, you know, deadlines and specific targets every day, every week, every month, every year, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We might come back to this just because this is all really important stuff to talk about if you're trying to
Yes.
get better at guitar. It's all stuff that I mean, I think about this all the time because I'm always trying to improve my playing.
Of course.
But you've given me a lot of interesting advice about routines.
Yes.
And I think they're really helpful with the playing, with my practice time, because, like I was saying, like you don't have to think so much about it.
Of course.
So, what are some like routines and habits you have around not only your playing but the other creative things you're doing?
Of course. I have a specific, you know, schedule every week. Every Monday morning, I say what I want to do this week. I want to do 2 YouTube videos, to learn this song, to do a rehearsal, to practice this thing and this thing and that. So I have specific to-do list, like going to the supermarket and shop. I have
So,
to-do
yeah.
list
So it's
over things.
everything, not just
everything,
music.
everything, not just music, everything.
Okay, right.
And when it's Sunday night, I have to check this list, and I have to, you know, to delete everything
Yeah,
because I have
cross
done
everything
everything. If
Right.
not, it's not good,
Right.
and I have to postpone it for next week, etc. So, but I have a specific, you know, for every. In general, I have 2 lists: the short-term list, which is the weekly schedule for every day, and the long terms, which is for 6 months. So I have to keep balance. For example, a short-term list is to write 10 songs for my new CD. You cannot do that in 1 month. You need 6, 8, 10 months. So, and this will move song number 1 in this week, song number 2 in the next week. And I'm trying to keep the progress
Right.
steadily every week, every month, etc.
So where most people say like, oh, I am not inspired, or I'm waiting for the inspiration to come for creative things.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. When I want to compose a specific style of music, I'm listening this style of music every day from different artists, and I'm trying to get inspired and steal. Don't borrow, steal ideas. At the end of the day, when the song is ready, the idea you stole has nothing to do with me, because it will be John, Theodore, etc. It works all the time like this, believe me. So listen a lot of music by other people that you like and you want to do something similar, and then do your own thing.
Right.
At the end of the day, it will be 100% original.
Okay.
This is what I'm doing for the last 15 years.
Right. Yeah. I similarly, and I've made a YouTube video. I made a video about this. Search the channel. Maybe I'll link it or something. But about how I would put off writing a lot because I would similarly was saying, oh, I need to wait for inspiration, or I don't have any ideas today. But what ended up helping and making a lot of the Viminal songs happen was I would just write every day. I'd write something. I would force myself to sit every day at the computer with my guitar, the software, and just write something. And 90% of it fucking sucked. But then the 10% that's great is all that other work is worth it.
And maybe it sucked for today. Maybe 3 months later, you will make another song, and you you take an idea that it was not that bad, not that good, and now it's good.
Yeah.
So never delete anything. I have in my hard drive more than 300 riffs, or 300 melodies, or 300 licks, and I keep them, and I know exactly where it is, every lick, and I can use it if I want.
Yeah.
Later or.
Yeah. Some of my best ideas come from fuck ups.
Yes.
Like, I wrote this one song, and I said, oh, maybe this song should be in drop D tuning.
Yes.
Rewrote the whole song in drop D.
Yes.
And then there's one part that because it's in drop D, change the string.
Of course.
It modulates.
Yes.
And I ended up saying the drop D thing's not a good idea, but I cut that part that was modulated up a whole step and put it in the original, and it ended up being a cool section where you shift keys.
It happens all the time.
By accident.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. So another thing I want to ask you is a lot of metal musicians in particular, they teach kind of as a side gig. So what's some advice you have? And you kind of touched on this already, but some advice for those musicians so they can improve their teaching. I mean, one thing I have to say honestly about you, I've told you this before, is that you're really dedicated to the craft of teaching. It's not just
This is my job.
Yeah.
First it's teaching, then the rest.
Right.
For many reasons. First of all, I think that I'm good at telling people stories and giving my knowledge. I can find it easy to do, for me at least. And to be honest, for me it's the best way to make my living. Because the gigs are not very good. The sales are the CD sales are zero. Not bad, zero now. Let me tell you a story. 10 years ago, I was going to the post office to send orders 3 times a week. My bag full of CDs. Now I'm going once, and maybe with 2-3 CDs.
Yeah.
So people don't buy music anymore because music is free everywhere on YouTube, on streaming apps, and stuff. So you have to make ways that works to make your living. And for me, teaching is the best way. I like it. I love it. It's my passion. And also it's the way I make my living, and I have a decent life, etc.
So for guitar players or musicians who are teaching, either because it is their passion or just because it's kind of their side gig that allows them to pay the bills, how can they do it better?
I really cannot answer that. And what's the point? If you are doing as a part-time teacher, the problem is that you cannot have a steady, amount of students to teach, because let's say that you are teaching on March and April, then you have a tour for 3 months. What are you going to say to the students? Sorry, stop for 3 months and come back.
Well, it seems like if you're doing it on Skype, you could teach on the road.
No, you cannot. Believe me.
Oh, okay.
It's not. You know what I mean. It's not. You have to be there for the student. It's impossible to be on the bus, and I don't think that
It's not the right focus.
I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
At least for me.
Yeah.
I'm here. I have my syllabus. I have to know what each student is doing, and I have to do that. Targeted. When you are doing many other things, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be easy.
Yeah, it's almost like, by definition, if it's your side gig, it's like you almost like you're inherently not going to be as good of a teacher.
Of course.
As the guy like you who does it full time.
Of course, you cannot.
Dedicated to
because
it.
You need also teaching needs practice. The more you teach, the better you're going to be. And I can say it for myself. I'm much better now than I was 10 years ago. Because it's experience that makes you better every time. Because you are dealing with a lot of situations, and when you solve a problem, you know already how it works for the next student and for the next same situation that you're going to face.
Right. Okay.
And then this needs practice. And practice is teaching.
Yeah. So speaking of side gigs, take a drink every time I say the word "so" in this video. The whole reason we're doing this, the YouTube thing, I'm not dedicated to being a great YouTuber, but you really encouraged me to do it and make a channel and.
I said that you are already late.
Well, yeah, that's true. But why do you think having a YouTube channel and connecting with your audience in different ways as a musician is so important?
Of course, 2 reasons.
Okay.
First reason, it's going to make you better, because when you make a video and you take it seriously, you have to be the best you can, to give 100% of what you are. So this will make you better.
Right.
Secondly, you can make audience, and you can use the audience then to promote your music, to sell your product, to sell your music, and also this will make you an even better player and make other players to see you and get some gigs, get some jobs, etc. So there are 2 benefits from that. For you, to be better, and also other people to see you and they can hire you for something. Or for me, I think that it's not possible nowadays, 2017, to do it without YouTube. It's impossible.
Yeah. Seems like everybody's doing it, but there's a lot of crap out there. I mean, there's a lot of people who just.
For me, 75% is crap.
Yeah.
Because people that they don't plan what they want to say. They just put the camera, put some licks with no order, with no. You must have a strategic plan. What are you doing and why you are doing that?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like we were kind of talking about this yesterday. Like, there's so much content out there.
Nowadays, too much.
It cheapens your credibility with your audience if you just put out a bunch of stuff and it's not consistently.
This is a different story.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to keep the right balance.
Okay.
Not too much and not.
Yeah. Taking a year off is not good, as I did.
Let's say 20 to 30 videos a year. It's great. So we mean about 1 year, 1 video every 15 days.
Okay.
2 videos per month. It's okay.
Right.
But to be honest, it was a time that I was doing 60 to 70 videos per year. It was also good, but I think now a good balance is 20 to 30 videos every year.
Okay.
Because of you, the audience will have anticipation to see you, and you're gonna make better content, better videos, better images, better editing, everything. Because you're not only the guitarist, you must shoot the video, do the editing, and to know stuff.
Right.
Even make the intro, make the fonts. Everything is important now.
Yeah.
There's too much competition outside, as you can see. So everything is important.
Right. As far as when people are creating their content, what are some things that they can think about to make sure that their content is actually good? I mean, rather than just putting out a lot of volume, but having some of it be crappy.
Yes. For me, it's do the things you know better. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Because if you don't know something very well, it's dangerous for you,
Right. Yeah.
and you maybe gonna lose your credibility,
Yeah.
because the audience is very demanding now.
Yeah.
They want everything for free and in the best quality it could be. So you must be very careful about that.
Right. Yeah. It seems like. I mean, I don't ever want to be trying to claim I have some expertise in something that I don't. But it seems like a lot of people do that just for the sake of putting out a video.
Yes.
Not just in music. I mean, I see this in a lot of fitness stuff or things like that. People say like, they proclaim to be the expert. They claim that they are an expert in some field, and it's
The
just
problem
not true.
here is not for the guy that's doing the video; it's for the audience.
Right.
The audience must has been mature
Yeah.
to understand if the video is good or not good.
Yeah.
It's not that easy, but
Yeah. But if you're,
that works.
I mean, if you're in the audience and you're trying to get help on a particular topic, you don't even know any better necessarily.
I think that the audience is now much more experienced than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they see a lot of things and more or less they can understand if it's crap or if it's not. At least the majority of them.
Right. So yeah, I think that's enough. I think that's all the questions I had and I wanted to cover, and I think we got a lot of good information and advice for.
Thank you for your great questions.
Awesome. Yeah.
It
Thank you
was
for your
nice to
time.
meet you again in person.
Absolutely.
And I wish you all the best.
Thanks, man. I had a good time here.
And
I really appreciate it.
one advice, do more things, be more active. The more things you do, the better for you.
Okay.
And for the people that follow your music and your activities.
Awesome, man. Thank you. So, really appreciate your time and hospitality while we've been here. That's a wrap. Peace out, fuckers.
Bye bye.